From the gridiron to the gorge, from the hardwood to Mount Hood, from the bike trails to the backwoods, this is Game On with Stan Brock and David Solano.
Live from the Coin 6 studios in downtown Portland, it's Game On tonight. Football powerhouse Linfield College claims at least a share of the Northwest Conference crown with a win against Puget Sound. See why this small school in McMinnville continues to dominate Division III football. Plus, the Portland Winterhawks have one of the best in the business between the pipes, why Aiden Hill is racking up the wins and the awards in this young season. But first, the Portland Timbers travel to Vancouver, British Columbia, looking to keep their season alive. A win gets them into the Western Conference Final. All that and more tonight on Game On. And welcome to Game On. I'm your host, Stan Brock.
And I'm David Solano. A very professional display by the Timbers in the second leg of their playoff match against Vancouver. And Portland able to get the job done behind Fernando Adi and Diego Chara tonight. So let's go ahead and pick things up early on. In the match, Vancouver's Manet tries, but it bounces off the post, then off keeper Adam Coruscant and out for the corner. So in the 31st minute, Diego Valeri, the wonderful tap to Adi, and he buries it for the 1-0 lead. The Whitecaps threw everyone forward in the second half, but the Timbers soaked up the pressure. Diego Chara sends one past the keep. Timbers win 2-0, so they're going to host the first leg of the Western Conference Final against FC Dallas on Sunday, November 22nd at 4:30 p.m. You know, Stan, we talked about momentum after the Timbers defeated the LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
Portland's really playing well, it seems, at the perfect time.
Yeah, you know, this is what I know about soccer. Part of the things that I've learned so far. A 2-0 road win is a professional win, the best that you can do. And if you look at this game, really Vancouver's only shot they had was in the 8th minute, the one that banged off of the post. But I think if you look at it, this is probably the best game, overall game that the Timbers have played so far this year. I think it's a great game, so perfect time for it.
Absolutely. Let's play some basketball now. The Blazers, winners of 3 straight at home tonight, taking on the Detroit Pistons in the first. Al-Farouq Aminu, the serious hops. He pours in 9 points for the Blazers. Damian Lillard doing what he does best, delivering from downtown. He leads Portland with 26 points and 11 assists. The Blazers led by as many as 18 in the third quarter, but Andre Drummond, he was tough. 29 points and had 27 rebounds. But in the fourth, it was Reggie Jackson, Mr. November, taking over the ball game. This guy went off. 26 points in the fourth quarter, finishes with a career high 40 points. Detroit wins 120-103. Obviously, tough loss for the Blazers. Do you think Coach Stotts can chalk this up, though, to having a young team that's still learning how to finish right now, Stan?
I think so, yeah. I think there's a lot of things that can be taught there. But you got to remember, they came out and played. Detroit played this defense that was stifling in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It was crazy how well they were playing. And then offensively, they just went off. So there's a lot of things that are learning opportunities, teaching opportunities. So Coach Stott has a young team. I still like where they are and what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, looking ahead now, here's a look at the next 5 games for the Blazers. Now, the two that stand out, of course, the return of LaMarcus Aldridge to the Moda Center on November 11th, and then the rematch in San Antonio on November 16th.
Yeah, and tonight the Blazers honored members of the military at the Moda Center. Yesterday, soldiers from all 5 branches and their families got a chance to meet the Blazer players at the team practice facility, and that's not all the players are doing.
We are making holiday cards and doing things to be able to give back to the community, the Meals on Wheels. And so it's neat that we can kind of combine our efforts to do better for the community. It's absolutely special for me. My brother being a former Marine, a couple tours in Afghanistan, it's nice to be able to see these people's faces, have them come out to our facility, which a lot of people don't get to see.
Yeah, now the Blazers and Nike also launched the Rip City Academy yesterday, which provides kids with basketball coaching, some Blazer gear, and a chance to attend some games during the season.
Well, still ahead on Game On, we're going to go around the NFL and show you an amazing performance by former Oregon Ducks quarterback Marcus Mariota.
Plus, the Steelers lose Big Ben again in their win against the Oakland Raiders. We'll let you know how long he'll be out this time.
And my one-on-one with Winterhawks goalie Aiden Hill, and how he's become one of the best backstops in all of junior hockey. Stay right there. Sunday Night Football, Chip Kelly and the Eagles visiting the division rival Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, and Dallas winless since quarterback Tony Romo broke his collarbone back in week 2. That happened against the Eagles. And we picked this up in the 4th, 14-all. Philly's Jordan Hicks with the pick, and he's going to take it all the way back, 67 yards for the touchdown. It's 21-14 Philly. Cowboys, they come back, though. Quarterback Matt Castle, he scrambles, continues to scramble, come back this way, then just chucks it up somehow in the back of the end zone. Des Bryant comes up with that ball, tied at 21. The game would go to overtime. Eagles win the toss, and Sam Bradford finds Jordan Matthews over the middle. Matthew does the rest. He pounds that thing in. Taking it in for the walk-off touchdown. Eagles win 33-27.
All right, Marcus Mariota doing everything possible to help Tennessee get the best of New Orleans. First quarter, Mariota looking for Delaney Walker, who's able to snatch the football, stays on his feet on the 61-yard touchdown. No problem. Now, second quarter, Saints quarterback Drew Brees on the keeper and leaps on in. Brees, 387 yards of passing and 3 touchdowns. Before halftime, Mariota to Walker for another touchdown. Now, in the fourth quarter, Mariota, not finished at all. This time, gonna link up with Justin Hunter. Titans go for 2. You gotta go for 2. And it's Mariota finding Walker yet again. Heading to overtime, tied at 28. And in OT, Mariota, the snap, gonna roll to his right, then throws back left to a wide open Anthony Fasano. Mariota 4 touchdowns in the game. Titans win 34-28. You know, Mariota looking really good in his return from the injury today, Stan.
Yeah, he did, and he had an injured left knee, and I think the cool thing about it, and the highlights don't show it, they never do, but the first 3 series were horrible for Marcus Mariota, and for him to be able to hang in there and stay with it is awesome. 371 yards, he had 4 touchdowns, no sacks, no interceptions. He's playing very, very well.
He really is. You know who's also playing well? Carolina. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers hosting Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Second quarter we go. Newton on the keeper, and he's in for the touchdown, giving Carolina the lead. You got to break out the dance moves to celebrate the touchdown, of course. Before halftime, Newton dropping back and airs it out to Corey Brown on the 39-yard touchdown. Newton 15 of 30 for 297 yards of passing and 3 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers throws for 369 yards and 4 touchdowns, but can't take advantage of Newton's interception with minutes left in the ballgame. So on 4th and goal, Rodgers looking for a receiver, but the pass is intercepted, and that does it. Panthers win 37-29 to remain unbeaten.
The Raiders on the road in Pittsburgh. Fourth quarter, quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, he finds Jesse James all alone in the back of the end zone for the score. Steelers up 35-21. Still in the fourth, and it's the Raiders' Aldon Smith sacks Ben. Left in the game. He had to leave the game. Could miss a few weeks with a sprained foot. Next, Raiders possession, it's Derek Carr. He airs it out to Michael Crabtree. That's good for 38 yards in the score. We're all tied up at 35, but the Steelers get one more chance, and it's kicker Chris Boswell nailing the game winner with just 4 seconds left. Steelers win 38-35. From football to hockey, one member of the Portland Winterhawks is making a very good impression this season.
Exactly. We are talking about goaltender Aiden Hill, who's doing big things in his second season with the Winterhawks.
The road to the playoffs is always a challenging one. But the Portland Winterhawks like their chances with one of the most talented goaltenders in the Western Hockey League standing between the pipes.
There's a chance, man, all alone in front. Shot save made by Hill. Sets it up, let a shot go, save, rebound, and right there is Hill again to cover up and hold on.
Aiden Hill is making hockey fans stand up and take notice in just his second season with the Winterhawks.
I got listed by them when I was 15 years old and then signed when I was 16, and then I didn't really get a chance to fully play until last season.
He had a great end to our season last year in the playoffs. Really took us through a couple rounds there. Had a lot of pressure on him, a lot of workload too, and really responded well, obviously carrying us through the playoffs.
He came in halfway through the year last year, and he was huge for us. You know, he took over a huge role, and then he came prepared this year, and he's been unbelievable so far.
How unbelievable? 5 straight wins in late October, including a 45 save, blanking against Brandon Wheat are just a few reasons why Hill was recognized as a Vaughan WHL Goaltender of the Month for October.
Well, for me, it's a great personal honor, but it's more about the team. I enjoy winning games for my team and giving them a chance to win every game, so that's my main goal.
And his other goal is to help Portland hoist its first Memorial Cup since 1998.
That would be amazing. It's my dream for this year. I set that goal at the start of the year, and we're working step by step to try and achieve that.
I've seen him since I was 15 training camp, so I've seen him grow a lot, and same with myself. I mean, seeing him when he was 15 and he was kind of a lot more skinnier and stuff like that, and then seeing him now when we're both 19, it's a big improvement.
Hill has improved so much, he was selected in the 3rd round, 76 overall, by Arizona in the 2015 NHL entry draft.
When my name was called, can't explain the feeling that goes through you. The amount of emotions, excited, I don't know, it's crazy, you can't explain it, but it's an honor. It's my dream to play in the NHL since I was 4 years old, so it's awesome to see that.
And he'd be the first to tell you it's not only to get to the NHL level, but it's a process. He's on the radar right now for the World Junior team in Canada. He still has a lot to prove here in Portland, being an elite goaltender and carrying himself through the regular season and hopefully again throughout the playoffs.
Great story, David. And I know Aiden told you a few things that he's been able to do here in Portland.
Well, when you're in Portland, you got to visit Voodoo Donuts. You can check that off the list. Pal's Bookstore. I just don't know, Stan, if he's been fishing or hunting just yet. I forgot to ask him that one.
Well, we got to get him out there in that boat. Hey, next on Game On, the Linfield College football team continues to roll through Division III's Northwest Conference. One reason why, Coach Joe Smith and his staff. My sit down with the coach coming up.
And the Oregon Ducks took down Cal to become bowl eligible this weekend. The story from Hudson Stadium ahead on Game On. Stick around.
Linfield College clinched at least a share of the Northwest Conference title with a huge win against Puget Sound yesterday. Spencer Payne rushed for 210 yards and 3 scores, and quarterback Sam Riddle Jr., tossed 4 more touchdowns. The Wildcats win 72-3.
You know, this is the 60th straight season that Linfield has posted a winning record. That's the longest such streak in college football at any level.
Yeah, one reason why the culture started by head coach Ad Rushman back in 1968, it's carried on by the current staff at Linfield and head coach Joe Smith. Stability and consistency, 2 things every business strives for. In the business that's college football, those attributes lead to wins. In the case of Division III powerhouse Linfield College, lots of wins.
I think that's probably always been the case here as long as I can remember. You know, most of the assistant coaches when I played here were all former players, and I think that is part of the way we do things here.
Head coach Joe Smith has led the Wildcats since 2006, but his ties to the college go further back than that. He played and won at Linfield. Through 9+ seasons in charge, Smith has only walked off the field of a losing end 17 times. Even more remarkable, Linfield has lost just 7 games this decade.
At some point, you have to be able to take a little credit for what's going on, because you do have a lot of people going through here, and you don't get to recruit the best players in the world. And you're still successful year after year after year.
Sure, I think the Linfield's secret over the years has been really developing our players. You know, so I think we develop our athletes at a very high level, I think a high rate of that. So I think most of our kids reach their potential, and so I think part of coaching is taking the talent you have in the program and really bringing it to its, realizing its full potential.
One secret to Linfield's success, recruiting. Coach Smith and his staff have a specific type of player they're looking for.
Well, they got to be team first guys, and so when we find the right kid, I think they flourish here. And so to me and our staff, that's what we really want to do in recruiting is say, hey, this is who we are, this is what we believe in. If this is right for you, hey, come join us.
That team-first mentality extends all the way through the coaching staff. Most are young former players, and they don't earn as much as they would at other, larger universities.
Guys stay here because they love it. They're like myself, they went to school here, they love the program, so you're willing to do a lot for something you believe in and for something you love.
And Linfield wraps up the regular season next Saturday at Pacific Lutheran. And Stan, really amazing to see what Coach has been able to do down there with the boys in McMinnville.
Yeah, it's no question. And what he's done and how they do it and how they've done it for so long. And if you look at Coach Ad Rushman, who's been there forever, who kind of started this whole thing, you kind of get it. You kind of feel it from everyone who's been there, every head coach, the whole coaching staff, and the players.
You betcha. Well, the Oregon Ducks hosting the Cal Golden Bears on Saturday. Pick things up in the second quarter with the Ducks trailing. Quarterback Vernon Adams going airborne for the touchdown. He has been so much fun to watch this season. We are tied up at 10, and you got to watch that one more time. The Ducks going to keep it going, too, before halftime. Adams airing it out to Braylon Addison on the 28-yard go-ahead touchdown. Addison with 2 touchdowns last night. Adams, 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Ducks roll up a school record 777 yards of total offense. Oregon wins 44-28.
Meantime, head coach Gary Anderson and the Beavers, they take on UCLA Bruins this weekend, and they had their hands full with the Bruins starting quarterback Josh Rosen, who had a very productive game. He threw for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns in Corvallis. Nick Mitchell got the start for the Beavs, but racked up just 84 yards in the air, 3 interceptions before he got pulled in fourth. UCLA took it 41-zip. Next on Game On, 4 undefeated football teams in the 6A class, and they all have tough opponents in the second round of the high school playoffs. We'll break down the bracket.
And we'll also introduce you to our Athlete of the Week from Lincoln High School. Stay with us.
And the Coin 6 Blitz rolls into round 2 of the high school football playoffs. And once again, there's some great matchups this week. Perhaps the best pits number 9 Beaverton against the 8 seed Tualatin. The top seed Jesuit, they'll play host to Westview. Number 2 Sherwood takes on Tigard. Lincoln, they put their undefeated record on the line against Grants Pass. And South Salem is also unbeaten, and they'll take on Oregon City.
Well, our Athlete of the Week is making a splash at Lincoln High School. Sydney Kobach is a standout soccer and track athlete for the Cardinals, and she's also getting it done in the classroom too.
Sydney Kobach recently played in the final match of her soccer career at Lincoln High School.
I've put in a lot of work into Lincoln High School and just like my soccer career in general. You know, a lot of people don't realize, but soccer takes up like a lot of the summer, and it's just training on your own too. And so it's a lot of sacrifices, but it's all worth it.
Kobach has helped the Cardinals reach the playoffs every year since making the varsity soccer team her sophomore season.
Last year we made it to the quarterfinals, and the year before that we also made it to the quarterfinals.
Aside from playing soccer, Kobach has been on the varsity track team since her freshman year, where she specializes in the 400 and 800 meters.
I think everyone on the team looks up to her. I've seen her step into more leadership roles this year at school. Senior class representative. She's part of the anti-bullying program, and I think people just gravitate towards her.
Kobach maintains a 4.0 GPA, is involved in the National Honor Society, and finds time to volunteer once a week at an elementary school. She's already taking college preparatory classes too.
All of my classes are IB classes, so it's like AP, but the IB program, the International Baccalaureate. So yeah, it's like college prep.
Kobach said she's definitely interested in playing college soccer.
Yeah, she certainly has, you know, the talent to, and yeah, I know she's been talking with a few schools, so it's kind of a matter of figuring out the right fit both academically and athletically.
As Kobach reflects on an exceptional soccer career, she takes a lot of pride in becoming the first Athlete of the Week at Lincoln High School this year.
Hopefully I'm doing a good job representing my school and all of my friends and just everyone at Lincoln. But yeah, it's a huge honor.
Sydney says her goal is to play college soccer next year.
Next on Game On, are there too many teams in the 6A high school football playoffs? I'll talk about that in my final say coming up next. High school football playoffs are in full swing. In the 6A bracket, all but two of the favorites won and won big. The average margin of victory was 27 points. That was the average. Now, I'm all for as many teams getting into the playoffs as possible, but it seems to me that everyone may be better served if the games were more competitive. As a coach or a player, I don't think number 1 Jesuit got anything out of playing the number 32 seed Jefferson. And I would say the same thing's true for Jefferson. What did they learn? Think about this. If we want to keep a 32-man team playoff, let's take the top 8 seeds, have a bye week, and then have 24 teams in the opening round. Now, if this were true this year, Beaverton, the 9 seed, would have played Jefferson. Remember last week, Beaverton lost to Jesuit 70-0. Now, if I'm a Jefferson player, I feel like we have a competitive chance against Beaverton. If I'm the coach, there's so many lessons to be taught and learned for your school, your players, your community. This is my say. I'd like to know what you think. Send me a message on our Facebook page or our website, coin.com/gameon.
Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of Game On Tonight.
Yeah, have a great night, everybody. I'll see you next week.
Take care.